6 ways to non-dual. Today we're talking about adding. Now, this is actually very advanced non-dual studies. If you actually went into a monastery and you lived there for like years and years, at first you would start with the regular non-dual exercises like we talked about in the last video of not two, where you're erasing all your concepts and everything from your mind, and bringing yourself down to a point of zero so that you can stop being addicted by your perceptions. Then after, say you're there a decade or something and you're getting in the advanced class, your teacher would come in one day and say, well, guys, I got some news for you. All of that's a lie. None of that's true. Everything exists. You are part of such a vast, interconnected reality that there is nothing that doesn't exist. See that tree over there? That tree exists. Stop this not to nonsense. See those cows over in the field? They exist. See those walls? They exist. See yourself? It's real. Your thoughts, you have a thought. Your thoughts are real. You sleep soundly and you have a dream. The dream is actually a dream. The sky is the sky. Birds flying by are birds flying by. Say the birds fly by and you have a vision of something. The vision is a vision. It's real. You're real. I'm real. And this is a very valid way to approach the non-dual state, because nothing is separate by itself. Everything is so vastly interconnected. And human beings are brilliant. Our minds work really, really well. So if you just start seeing that everything exists, everything is real, you can't help but noticing how interconnected it all is. This particular practice is really the way a person in a non-dual, in a native tribe years and years and years ago would have been raised. Everything's real. Look at the water. Listen to the beings that are in the water. Listen to what the coyote is telling you. Pay attention to the sky, to Grandfather Sky and Grandmother Earth. Everything exists. And this actually fits really well into the actual moment of realizing the non-dual state, because the way that usually happens is you see this zero, nothing, and then you step back into yourself, and now you know who is looking, and you see that that nothing is actually the vast, interconnected everything of existence. This is what we usually kind of talk about when we talk about the universe. We're not talking about, all the stars floating around. We're talking about this vast, interconnected being of relationship and creation that is everywhere. So it's possible to step into this totally non-dual state by adding in everything. There's a danger to taking this approach, however, because our minds are just so conditioned and we are so addicted to wanting power and glory that you can very easily start believing the fantasies of your mind too much and rise yourself up in a feeling of self-importance. So much spirituality just gets stuck in this self-important state. So that's the problem. But if you can see that in yourself, are you feeling self-important? Yes, because self-importance exists. Sometimes I'm it. Sometimes you're it. Sometimes I'm like, I'm just nothing. Does that exist? Yes, it does. everything exists. So it has to be that everything exists, not just your perceptions exist. And when you start seeing that, especially when you hang around with people, they all exist. And you know how hanging out with people can be just such a messy deal. Everybody's beliefs and everybody's emotions and everybody's ideas about everything. Vast. See that as a vast, interconnected field of humanity. And you can start erasing your separateness. And it's when this separateness is gone that you are not dual. You have entered not dual. Not two has to include you. You're not separate. Vast interconnectedness to everything.